Oh,
Really?
He's in a
oh.
better location now. Yeah, what's up with your setup? Are you in like a different room, new house or something?
He's not in the basement.
No, he wasn't stuck in the basement for this one.
He's not in the basement. What is going on, everybody? We're just getting set up here.
Cody, somebody brought it up and said, if you actually look back with the original creation of automobiles, it was called a starter motor, or it was called a something to the extent of motor being involved in the mechanical apparatus that was moving that vehicle. Engine wasn't created until years later.
Maybe steam engine, that would have been considered an engine.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Zeekster.
I think that's just the terminology they gave that, and it kind of stuck. You know, everybody, that's just what we call it. We don't call it anything else.
I wonder if there's some kind of internal combustion or something like that. Does that make it an engine?
I think that's where the fine line would be, something to that extent. But I think even a steam engine, if somebody said a steam motor, most of us would know exactly what you're talking about. We would just know we're not used to calling it that.
I bet you can call a car engine a motor or an engine.
Right.
I'll stick with my ISIS until I die.
But electric motor with magnets and whatever, that can't be an engine.
Right.
So
that's one of the guys kind of broke it down, and the same guy that Ryan seen that we were talking, you know, that originally like created the push for this video. He actually broke it down, and he was like, well, let me show you the definition of an engine, and let me show you the definition of a motor, and they both fit in the same category, but an electric motor does not fit in an engine category in any way, shape, or form.
Wow.
Here's a good one. A motor gets driven by another power source. An engine produces its own power with fuel. I like it. I like it. We're going to be talking about all sorts of great stuff. Ford Boss's TikTok. We were just talking before we went live about, is it a motor? Is it an engine? Well, we're going to include all you guys in that conversation and get some feathers ruffled, and we just bringing out the boogie boards. And also, if you have some Powerstroke problems, some Super Duty problems, jump in the chat, rattle off your problems. We got endless information at our fingertips. We'll see if we can get you guys squared away, get you on the right track, and hopefully getting back on the road, which is always the goal, right? Right. And the last part of that title, I got a limitless giveaway, and it's only, I'm sorry, going to apply to a certain group of Illumiduties. And I'm giving something away, courtesy of him. I appreciate you, pal. Trying to rep. He's got some great stuff over there. Make sure to check his website out. LimitlessAutoworksLLC.com. He's got a whole bunch of great Ford OE harnesses. 100. We're going to do that here.
I know Fred's got a problem. He asked me about it.
Okay. What's up,
turbocharger?
Turbocharger. We can do turbochargers.
Let's talk additives as well.
Additives. Let me write that down so we don't forget.
Oh, here's a good one. In your
earlier.
opinion, are the pinpoint tests really accurate for diesel diagnosis regarding the 6.7s? Well, Ford put them there for a reason. I mean,
yes, sir.
If you don't cheat, and the concern is present when you're doing it, I would say they are accurate.
I think the worst is when you say you're doing the pinpoint test and you didn't. Just freaking do it.
Don't cheat either. Don't stop.
Yeah, just do it. Ford Boss knows. We know. You know,
when you run into a problem, that's why they make the engineers and the escalated team to deal with these types of things, and they'll straighten you out. one of the things that they're going to do is they're going to go back and they're going to say, did you actually follow the pinpoint test like it's laid out? If you missed a step, it could throw everything off. So start
Yep.
from A and finish at the end.
I mean, A-Rod made a video about this.
I messed up, and I shared the story of what I found, and it was really silly. And yeah, I guess I could have. I mean, it was a learning experience that had to happen. We learned, and because of my transgression, I wanted to show you guys so you didn't make the mistake of skipping over the first step. Do the pinpoint test.
I just did the same thing. I just put a video out on there, and I did the same exact thing. I had a
Yep.
FTP sensor that was biased on a construction truck, and every one of the fuel tank pressure sensors that we found that's biased, it's either 0 or close to 5 volts, has been a sensor issue. And I assumed, based on what I was seeing, that it was the fuel tank pressure sensor. So I went for that. It did not fix anything. I started skimming the pinpoint test, and I was like, yeah, I did all that stuff. And I went back and I started at A, and I started working my way through, and I was like, wait a second. It specifically states right here on your signal return, are you getting good continuity? Are you getting is this a good circuit? And I completely bypassed that step. Once I went back and checked that circuit, it was OL. That's why the sensor was biased. And when I started tracing my harness back, pulling and tugging on certain areas that were bent, that were moved around areas, all of a sudden the wire came right out of the harness. And I was like, you son of a gun. If you would have just done the pinpoint test from the beginning, you wouldn't have wasted 2 hours. And I found the problem, fixed it, came back online, ran an evap test, PO 420 codes went away, and it was fine. It was simply negligence on my part. Luckily, the customer was like, you know what? We understand these things happen. We're a construction company. We've been doing business with you guys forever. We'll just pay you the 2 hours. Thank you for being honest about you screwing up.
I love my power strokes, the power strokes. We don't have evap. Yes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't have VCT. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have a bunch of these camshafts. Just one.
Yeah.
See, hold on. I don't want to skip over this guy because this guy had a good question. Buckin Shutter Ranch, 0373. Sometimes will die when taking off from a dead stop. Sometimes shutters. Other times accelerates fine. Any ideas? Well, first thing makes me think if it's gonna die when taking off or stalling is that cam sensor. Make sure that thing's updated. That's a big, gosh, I can't remember how many of them things I've done. That's a big thing.
They're only like $20 from the dealer, so don't even bother going to the parts house and buying one.
We have a resident 7-3 project leader here today. We have a 01 Powerstroke with fuel in the oil. Gosh, golly.
Man,
What that's a no good. Maybe, man,
fuel in the oil.
we need some more info.
Are you sure it's not oil in the fuel? Because that would be more like it.
One's gonna go in the other, not the other way.
Because oil pressure is way higher than fuel pressure. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Debo, sir. Pinpoint tests are guys. Yeah, I do agree with you, guys. Sometimes you have to look beyond the pinpoint test because we come into instances where the pinpoint test doesn't write, and you have to know like the end result. Like what's the question they're asking? Do you have 5 volts, or do you have is resistance less than 5 ohms, or whatever? You know, you have to make sure. Sometimes when Ford Boss and I and Cody and DS, when we're going through the workshop manual, and it's saying to check connector here to here, we might have to go to the wiring diagram and actually verify that pin 1 is pin 1 or vice versa. But I mean, still, I do agree. It is a guide that is usually right, but we have to take it, you know, with what we know and decipher, because it could be wrong. Different wire colors. I mean, gosh, I can't remember how many times it's been goofed up on that.
it's more goofed up on the newer models than later because usually all those get fixed by then.
I was gonna say that I didn't want to cut Aaron off, but new models is typically where we run into problems, especially when you get like for me, it's police fleets. Whenever the police vehicles and stuff come out, they don't get updated right away, and sometimes you chase your tail, and then the engineering team's like, yeah, sorry, we don't have updated wiring diagrams and pinpoint tests for certain things. We're working on it still because the vehicle's still new. So
Sorry, guys.
Womp, womp, womp.
that's when the engineer shows up and swears to bejeebus the connector's there. It's got to be there. It says it's in the pinpoint test, and we go to ripping open the harness and stuff. Oh, on the cop car, that connector's not there. That harness is not the same.
So one of the just reminded me about the harness. The short I did yesterday, or the day before, regarding the fifth wheel camper adapter inside the bed of the Illumiduty, and how burned up it was. And I, got a good response back from you guys in the comment section, but it was really interesting to see that it actually, once they dropped the spare tire, the whole body harness, frame harness, I should say, from the 7-pin bumper harness all the way to the driver's fender liner had to be replaced. Fuel tank had to be dropped. It looked just like it did pulling out the side of the inside of the bed as it did underneath. So I think you guys should really pay attention. I don't know if we weren't getting the whole story or whatnot, but it's kind of, don't really have a way to prove it right now at this point of what really happened.
Well, it's
But,
kind of weird that the wiring would have burned over a fuse or something like that. Usually
Either
all that
something
stuff
got something got either hooked up backwards, or I mean, for that in the bed with
corrosion.
a cover on, yeah, it was so corroded. You should open up yours and see what yours looks like one day, just to see, if has it been dry this whole time? You know what I mean?
I wanna say that you can look up in the fender from the bottom, I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I want to say you could kind of look up from the bottom. But I don't remember. But I don't think there's anything going on with mine.
This guy says, I have a 2015 extended cab Lariat FX467 Powerstroke with a humming sound after running temps. The trans also shifts funny at times. It's intermittent. Ivan, I think we need a little more info, maybe how many miles, how long's this been happening? Got anything that can link it together? Could be a various things.
I remember when I was looking into that plug harness in the back, because I was thinking about running a light, like a reverse light, off of maybe one of those wires, because that has the reverse signal. And I remember seeing that whatever it's fused for is fused all for like 40 amps. So it's kind of like, why would one of those wires burn before a fuse would burn? Like, what are those things fused at?
I don't know if you guys have followed Workplay TV. Tyson over on Workplay, you guys check him out. He's up in Nova Scotia. He's got a 2020 450, just like DS, but his is antimatter blue. You guys can check him out, see what he's doing. He's working at pulling machines, equipment, and he's having an issue. I've talked about it before with him, with other guests in the comments and on the show, about having the ability to have 12 volts at the 7-pin, so your camper or trailer, whatever you have in the back, can charge the batteries from vehicle bat by its battery tender or whatever thing's got to be powered up. I'm working on something right now. I think I have it figured out. I have to verify. I'm going to be working, try to work something with Limitless so we can get that OE, get you guys
So the
set
thing
straight.
the thing about that is it will charge that trailer, but it will not do it. It will not provide 12 volts until it recognizes the trailer. So on mine, when you plug it in, if you were to go back there with a meter and try to find it, it will not tell you. It will not give you that 12 volt.
This is going to
But
be a
when,
workaround.
but when you plug it in and it sees that trailer correctly, if it communicates with the trailer correctly, at that point it sends the 12 volts back. So it could be something else is going on with his truck, because on mine, I remember probing that to try to figure it out. Like, why doesn't it have a constant 12? Well, the brake controller, the trailer brake controller sends it back. It's just not always present until the trailer's hooked up. So as far as making it so it could turn on all the time, like a workaround, I don't know, it's pretty complicated.
Stay tuned.
It does
gonna-
tell you on your when you look into, what do you call it when you sign in into Oasis or
Oh yeah, FMC, PTS.
FMC, when you read how it works, it does tell you that. But I actually am running GPSs and stuff off of my 7-way, so I can see it come live because I'm using it. I'm not using an actual trailer tracker. I'm using an automotive tracker. So when you plug in, it's using that 12 volts as a hot. And you can see it as soon as and it's weird, like you'll be parked and you'll plug it in and it won't do nothing until you drive a couple feet and touch the brakes and then it pops on. So it's kind of funky like that.
Yeah, I was reading about it. It's kind of goofy. And I think it doesn't need to be goofy. If somebody wants to charge their GD trailer, I want to charge it now. I don't have to do this, open the door, hop, skip, and a jump, and twiddle my thumbs and whoop-de-doo, it's going to start charging. No, I want to charge now. Right?
Well, I do know he was
Now.
dealing with a electric over hydraulic braking system. So maybe that particular system is not working like a normal electric
If
brake
you're
system.
plugging something into the 7-pin, there should be 12 volts. Now. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? One of the things that Ford Boss actually brought up, and I wrote down, but I want to start off with it because I got asked about it today, is additives. Like, it must be multiple times a day, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or in the comments or emails, like, whoa, hey, A-Rob, PTT, what additives are you using? Should I be putting anything in my fuel? Yes, every single tank. Do something every single tank. And Ford Boss has got some good ones under his belt. I know he was checking out a couple of Marvels, and he's got some Blackstone results back. I don't know exactly what oil you had got tested. If was that the Motorcraft one with it, no additive in it?
There was a lot of them, but one of them was the last one I did was the bulk oil we get at the dealership, and it turned out to be really good oil. It was.
But you didn't add anything to
nothing.
supplement or anything. It was just straight Motorcraft oil.
It was straight Motorcraft oil, and it came back with really good numbers and stuff. And the customer, although mind you guys, it's not Super Duty oil. I'm going to test Super Duty oil next, but I just got a data sheet from FS Supply, and they have to, or you know who FS Oil is?
No.
They do like a lot of the ag oil and stuff like that, and they're like at a lot of the co-ops and stuff that supply the farming industry and the heavy duty industry. We ran out of 1030 and we couldn't get any in a timely manner. And we have a lot of Super Duties that we service every day. And we called up FS Oil Supply, and they said our oil is Motorcraft certified. We build our oil to be at least at or above their spec. So they actually dropped off a data sheet with me. And what I ended up doing was I read over that data sheet, and even just the standard supply oil of 10W30 and then FS oil supply meeting motorcraft standard, the numbers were outstanding. Like regular oil, it has really, really, really good numbers to it on what Ford wants. The stuff I tested was 5W30 at 6,500 miles just to see if the bulk oil is any good, and it was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. So the Ford oil is not bad oil. It's actually really good oil.
Yeah. I mean, I use it. We use it constantly. Vehicles coming back. I mean,
It's all my trucks.
repeated services. No problem with motorcraft stuff. Oh, that's nice. Oh,
I've only
wow.
ever used bulk motorcraft or the gallon jugs of motorcraft.
Yeah, they were saying that a lot of guys that were like used to be engineers for Ford and stuff like that did a lot of stuff for Ford back in the day that worked for corporate, and they were saying that's all they ever use is the motorcraft stuff because of how it tested. It always tested very, very well, so they never had the need or never seen the need to run anything else.
I'm back.
Oil analysis I did on the motorcraft turned out good on the factory fill.
I'll send you the sheet, Aaron, whenever I get back to work. I'll take a picture of the sheet that was dropped off with me, the fresh oil testing, to show you like the TBN rating and all the added oil. I think it's like viscosity breakdown and stuff like that under heat, tested brand new. And then I'll try to pick like one of the Super Duties that are serviced regularly and grab some of that used oil and send it off and actually have it tested as well.
Project Amateur, yo. How do you drain the DEF tank? So
I've always just dropped it and drained it.
yeah, or I guess you could do the drain procedure, but that's just going to take forever.
I mean, it's not like 2.5. It's not like 5 gallons of DEF weighs that much.
Yeah.
What's 4 bolts and a connector?
Yeah. Fred actually had a really good question. Let me go back up to that.
So the additive thing that I was talking about, Aaron, that I brought up was I've been watching a lot of the aftermarket guys that have been looking at the CP4 pumps, and there's a young guy, he has his own garage. I forget his name. And he said, a lot of the pumps I rebuilt. I don't replace them. He said, I'll actually strip them down. I'll pull like the little crank cam driver or whatever out of the center.
Yeah.
I'll pull the bearings and stuff out. I'll inspect the bearings. And he was like, one of the things that I'm noticing is it's so easy for these tappets, or what do you want to call it, roller, driver, cup, or whatever inside it. There's no keepers for them. They're not kept true. So they can actually turn if you get any kind of, come on, buddy. They can actually turn inside the bore. And he said, we've noticed that if we run additive, like Hot Shot or something like that, if we run additive in there, it really helps keep these lubricated very well. And they don't have that little bit of resistance sometimes, and they don't turn as easy in the bore. Now, he said, I'm not going to say they're complete. Stop. We're not going to say he.
Oh, look at him. That's funny.
He said we've seen a substantially higher success with running a good additive in the fuel. And when you pull the sheet out, we just did a CP3 or CP4 in a, was it a, I don't know if it was like a Cummins or something like that. And the CP3 or CP4 went on it. When you pull the sheet out, it actually specifies right on the sheet, do not run fuel without additive in it. The additive actually substantially helps lubricate the inside of that pump. And a lot of guys were assuming that, well, the manufacturer doesn't want you to, it says right in the manual, don't run additives. Well, we've seen what not running additives does. And with these guys that are testing these vehicles in the aftermarket world that are seeing not running additives is causing more failure, and a decent additive in that fuel would really help that truck out.
A lot. I think that's probably the top thing I get asked about is, do you run fuel additive? Would you run fuel additive?
I kind of like what Hot Shot Secrets is doing, because at least they're putting out the claim that it helps. I don't know. I know the Ford version, the Ford brand does say it adds lubricity, but Hot Shots seems like they really did a ton of research.
I just changed oil. It was the same oil that you got, Sean. Somebody, one of my customers brought in and brought me
Which oil?
the PAO,
Oh, okay.
and he got it in his 17 or his 18 350. And
Yeah.
you know, I was like, that's the same stuff DS was running. So
Yeah, I really like that stuff. Oh, that's a good topic. You know how guys say like, I like my oil. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, that was good oil. Like, how do you review oil? I mean, aside from testing it and stuff like that.
Well, the way the motor sounds,
Yeah.
a lot of people can pick up after, like, you know, obviously fresh oil is brand new. Unless it's really bad oil, you're not going to hear very much. Like, you might hear me say
Right.
something like, well, I ran Mobile One extended performance in the car and I noticed a little bit more noise on startup, but it wasn't, I
Yeah.
can't be critical of the oil enough to say that there was a difference, because that could be, that could be my bias. As much as I've tested certain oils, there's some I like and some I don't. But once I hit 2,000 or 3,000 miles, then I can really start to tell whether or not that oil is starting to shear more, whether it's not, the viscosity is starting to hold up, if I'm getting more motor noise and stuff out of it, or engine noise for the purists.
It's like you turn off the radio and you just listen to it, and then you accelerate and you see how it feels, and you just try to pay attention.
Right.
Like with that FR3 Hot Shot, I'm telling you, the turbo seemed like it whistled a little better with that, or a little louder, or whatever. Like you could hear it a little more. And it was just like, even toward the end of the oil life, it was still pretty fresh, seemed like.
2016. I'm just looking up this DTC really quick.
That's a weird one. I haven't seen that one.
And I just want to make sure, because I don't want to get button hooked, but that's definitely thinking def heater, Sunder.
What DTC is it?
20B9.
Isn't it on that sheet that Ford gave us? That cheat sheet that they had? It's like that GSB that you can print out and they're all on there. And isn't that one of the ones that's on there?
I don't know. Reductant heater A open. So extended coverage. What's that extended coverage number?
Oh, I don't even remember.
18 MO1. Yes, but it's not for 2016. So Nick, let me go back to the where's Nick? Nick, if you're still listening, Nick, I don't know. I've never replaced a sub harness for a DEF problem. I would definitely say, no pun intended, DEF. You got something going on with the in-tank guts. I recommend you don't get a Dorman, don't get a overseas. Grab a Motorcraft component, and we can link the video, or you can go to my playlist and I show you step by step how to put it in. It's really not that hard. If I can do it, you can do it.
Come here.
16 ounce. Okay, my truck threw a code P221C. We need more info. What are we working on? Toyota? Ford?
And tell us the name of it too. We don't
Yeah.
have like a library in our head that we remember every name for every code. We get an idea.
3Z. BC3Z. 5 Jack 225. Lincoln. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Rotella. Okay, this is a Sean question. Rotella versus PAO.
No.
PAO.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can't even hardly get Rotella right now. So
Let the dog
Yes,
ask some questions. I just used
so-
Rotella today.
So Rotella's good. Rotella's pretty good. I think, I don't know how much better it is than like Motorcraft though. It's, I don't know.
Stop.
It's decent.
Is
Tell us that one.
AMSoil diesel fuel additive worth it for keeping engine cleaner, fuel mileage? uh, I use the AMSoil diesel fuel additive. I'm actually using that one right now for the anti-gel because it was getting really cold.
Do they make the
But-
lubricity claims that Hot Shot makes?
Well, here I got a bottle right here. Let's see. Let's see
It's a
what their
2350.
Cody, talk to this dog and tell him to shut up. Jeez.
He's so cute.
Daddy, I want to say
Dog. Hi, dog.
Archie.
Watching.
I mean,
All
we should
right.
be getting tons of super chats just for the dog. I mean,
One of the dogs.
All right. So on the side of the
Uh-oh.
bottle, this AMSoil stuff, I like using this one. I use that. I'm almost out of EDT. I got one bottle left and I've been trying to hold on to it. This one says specifically engineered to help defend your engine and fuel system against performance, robbing, wear, and deposits. Concentrated formula provides dependable protection in warm weather. One dose delivers outstanding detergency, improved lubricity, and higher cetane. Okay, so here comes the claims. Cleans dirty injectors. Adds lubricity to reduce fuel pump and injector wear. Increases cetane up to 8 points. There we go. There's some numbers. Combats fuel system corrosion. Delivers maximum horsepower safe for use in diesel fuels, including biodiesel. Blah. Run away from that stuff. Trust me. And it's alcohol free. So this also complies with the federal low sulfur requirement. So don't worry about putting it in and failing smog. It's got a little chart on here. It says 2 ounce, 1 ounce, for 5 gallons and so forth. But I've used this. This is the green one for warm temperatures. The orange one is for the colder climates. But I mean, I use both of them. Ones that I do not use is the Motorcraft one, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Because a couple of guys were like, "Oh, I follow your channel, and you kind of contradict yourself in the beginning." And well, I guess I've kind of changed the way I've looked at the Motorcraft stuff because I don't see any. I'm not bullshitting. I don't see any, nothing on Instagram. I don't see it on social media. I don't see it on TV. I don't see it on the internet. I don't see it in the newspaper. I don't see it in the magazine. Anywhere, not even in the tabloids. Any advertisements for Motorcraft. I'm done with it.
It's like they don't care.
I'm done with it. What are you just paying for the name? Obviously, everything you see on here, they can't false advertise. So they got to be actually doing, what they're saying. And the people who are using the oil and are getting the results back saying that the oil is looking good after 3,500 miles, after 5,000 miles, and some guys are going 7,500 miles. Whatever you do beyond that, that's up for you. But I mean, I'm not going to be wasting the time with the Motorcraft stuff. I've been recommended the Hot Shots. I don't have a code for AMSoil, but I got a couple of guys who can get you some AMSoil products if you want to get Hot Shot stuff. DS has a code, and I have a code, PTT. People have been saying that you can bundle those codes together and save double.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, you can.
that's cool. PTT and DS.
Yeah, when you put them
trucks.
together, for like Hot Shot oil,
Hell yeah.
and anything from the site, the savings get to be pretty good.
Hell yeah. Hey.
But that's the thing about the
Body Man Bob. Thanks,
what is
buddy.
that stuff?
We appreciate you.
The Rotella is not worth what they're asking right now for it because of shortage. It's just not worth the extra money. It's good when it's on sale.
Somebody sent me that DS. They sent me that I've never run it, and I'm interested to run it because it was the first one that showed up. One of my subscribers said, "I want you to try this Rotella full synthetic 5W30, and it's the gas truck formula."
Yeah.
And they said, "We want you to run that because we think the numbers are going to be better than the other numbers you've seen." I don't know. I've never run it, and I'm going to do it. That's going to be the next run. So, and
Yeah,
I hit the
maybe.
I've hit the royal purple really fast because of that trip I took down to Alabama recently. So I'm already at 4,000 miles, and I just changed the oil not too long ago, and I'm already creeping up on 5,000 miles. So I'm like, oh, looks like this is coming out, and I'm gonna get that tested, and then the Shell
Cool.
Rotella next.
Cool. This is kind of weird. Tom says, I have smoke coming during regen from driver side. Huh?
I wonder if because running the regen at the higher RPMs and stuff, and you're going
Blowing?
well. I wonder if that CCV or something on that driver's side valve cover is leaking down the back of it, like the back of the motor or the side of the motor right there, or engine. God, I'm gonna keep correcting myself.
David Brizzy. This is actually something I'm covering in a video that I just made. We'll kind of dabble really quick. Just had to get upper and lower intake cleaned and EGR cooler replaced. All three were clogged with soot. $4,500 later. Golly. Later looking to not have it do that again. Suggestions. Well, unfortunately, one of the biggest things of burning fossil fuels is the byproduct, and it's carbon. We have, I don't want to get too far into it because it was good content for a video, but we have something going on in the lower intake manifold, and it's a trifecta of swirly temperature changing airs and gases and stuff. And when that all happens with the temperature change and the difference of stuff, one's dry, one's wet, all it just is wants to just cake, and it's just going to be nothing but soot. The only thing that I do see with trucks that don't have a lot of buildup is the guys who drive them. They don't want to be, oh, I'm just going to be driving around, pussyfooting around. I'm going to be going to the mall and the store. Just going to take it real nice and easy. Just have that. Dude, I'm telling you, drive that thing, man. When you say you got to blow the carbons out, hey, blow them carbons out, man. Hammer down, buddy.
What about does high idle help with that in the cold?
Get that heat.
If you
I
have to
mean,
idle?
that's better than just sitting at idle. But you know, the big thing
Drive it.
was, yeah, drive it. Heat. These 6.7s want heat, and all these guys I see they putting, you know, the lower temperature thermostats in it, and I'm like, for what? I just don't understand. I mean, having
in the 7.3 world, people are putting higher thermostats in them. So
I
I
just
mean,
don't
come on,
understand.
guys. We're going from 195 to 203. Like, come on. Diesels run on heat.
Right. Heat of compression. That's how we efficiently burn fuel. And it brings back 6.0 days. Remember the 6.0 days? Okay, I mean, I don't know if you remember working on the 6.0s, Rich, or having them come into the shop, but if you had a 6.0 and it had a 401, there was a TSB, it was just EGR valve after EGR valve after EGR valve after EGR, you pull it out and things just stuck open, just nothing but carbon. And I remember customers asking, you know, hey, what can I do to inhibit this? And a lot of times, you know, these guys didn't realize that they too had to run a fuel additive, and we don't know the quality of diesel fuel we are getting, and you know, its ability to completely burn and satisfy everything in the combustion chamber. We don't want any leftover garbage that's going to be just hanging out and collecting. We want to make sure we're going to be burning all, we're getting all our money's worth that we're eating. So
Right.
you know, Ford Boss Me and we see that when we take these things apart. And I was just talking with my customer whose name is Fred. He's got a 17 with about 50,000 miles on it. And I was telling him, you know, don't want to be, you know, old man driving this truck, not to put anybody down. But you got to get out and drive these things. Get that boost, make that boost, get the blow the carbons out. It's not being silly. Like, really, I mean, hammer down on it. That's what it's that's what it's here for. You can't be, holding back on it. You're going to be making it worse and clogging stuff up. It wants heat. That's how we get our regens activated. And I was just doing some forescan programming on a gentleman's 22 Lariat, who, by the way, is in Washington State and wanted to have his OCR turned on and his operator commander regen and so forth, so he could see the DPF percentage, so he could be up on, what is going on in his exhaust. Hey, hey, hey! It's important. It's important. What's this guy say here? Rich?
That's with most vehicles though, Aaron. Like I have this conversation with people all the time when they're trying to pussyfoot around with these vehicles and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you guys are complaining about shuttering and the DPS 6. We all know the problem that they had. And, we get older people that come in, people that idle their vehicles excessively all the time. And I'm like, man, from the Super Duties down, you got to drive these vehicles. You cannot sit around and try to drive them. Just get up to the speed limit, drive. I'm not telling you go break the law. Get in it, drive it, get on the highway every once in a while, open them up a little bit, be kind of hard on them sometimes. That's the only way they're going to last. You try to drive them slow and be easy on them all the time, and they're not going to run right. They're going to plug up. You're going to have deposits. You're going to have stuff plugged. That's the whole purpose of the fluids and stuff that's in these vehicles that we drive is they have additive packages that need to be moved around. They need to be pushed through the engine to remove deposits and stuff. That's their whole purpose. And then we're talking about carbon deposits. Just get in there and drive the damn thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed when like my 450, it wants to be more than just driven hard. It wants to be driven hard with a trailer. Like when I'm pulling the trailer, it's like the DPF is just cleaning itself. It never does that. It either does like a regen. When I'm not towing, it either does a regen or not. But when I'm towing, it's like burning the exhaust on its own. It's a whole different ball game when you start loading it up. But that thing, I haven't even towed that much with it, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting some bigger stuff here.
So what do you guys recommend for breaking in this new truck? Do I need to be gentle with it for a certain period, or can I put it to work, baby? Put it to work. Put it to work. I mean, I would maybe be driving it for maybe 500 miles, a couple tanks of gas, let that trans learn. But hey, I would be ultimately putting that 500 miles is going to be like that. So couple weeks, put it to work. There's no break-in procedure or anything. She's ready to go.
When you read the manual, it says 500 miles to allow the tires to break in. Doesn't say anything else about the engine or anything like that. Just
$4 a gallon. Ugh.
For what?
For diesel.
Yeah, and I have to down here.
I think it's that way. I think from here down to Alabama, up here I was seeing it around like 379, but once I got closer down south for some reason, it started going up, 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 and I got down to Alabama, it was like just over $4 a gallon in some places.
I've got to drive to school next week for 3 days. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
This guy says 20 miles a gallon. Brian Baldridge, I was getting 23.1. driving 75 going east, going to Pennsylvania. That was my best haul. That was pretty good. Must have had a tailwind, but I mean, it was no BS. I was impressed. I had 4,900 miles on it, I think, at the time.
Damn, you did as good as me in the town car.
Dude, she was rolling.
that is pretty good.
She was rolling. I went into regen maybe once. I think I stayed in passive the whole time. Just kept cooking, man. It was great. It was great. $3.76 in Kansas City, $4 in South Carolina. Guys checking in. 160 a litra. $5 a gallon in California. Oh, oh my God.
You can keep that right along with
Oh,
it. Never mind.
369. Everybody keep checking in. I love it. 369 in Louisiana. Hi, can y'all do a force manual regen with forescan? Yes, you can, P Mac. Holla at me. We can hook you up.
You
$5.
can even do it on your cell phone.
Yes, you can. Jake Hall, my man, thank you. Does the S&S fuel disaster void warranty? No. How about adding the Morimoto headlights? Void warranty? No. I only asked
Here's
because
here-
you have to get into the fuse box. No.
Here's the thing that I run into is guys will put the aftermarket stuff in, but they won't put the factory stuff back on to accommodate it. So they'll take a set of factory light or LED lights and they'll put it in their non-LED Ford setup, and then
Housings,
they won't put the rubber covers back on. They won't put
Mhm.
everything back the way it goes. I'm like, you guys are complaining about moisture and stuff like that, and you want me to be your friend and cover all this under warranty, but we're going to get charged back when I have to get new lights and put all your stuff back. And I send a set of lights back to Ford that are incomplete. They're going to be like, wait a second, why'd you even warranty these out? They weren't installed correctly. If they would have put LED lights in there and put everything back the way it
Yep.
was, we could see, but a lot of guys don't do that.
Well, I guess the point would be like, it doesn't void your entire warranty, but it could void a portion. Like say you change out the headlights. Well, if you potentially cause something to happen to something
That's on
else,
you.
then that part, yeah. But it doesn't mean like your engine blows up and they're like, hey, you got different headlights.
Oh, sure. Right.
Hold on.
Those
And
two
most-
things would not be connected.
Most
I
guys
mean,
that do. Go ahead. Corey.
I've nailed people with lift kits that blow out U joints every 1,000 miles. I'm like, yeah, that's not warranty. Sorry, bro.
Well, that's,
We had
Nothing you
one-
can do.
We had a guy come in with an F-150 that put like some 6 or 8 inch lift kit on a 2.7 liter EcoBoost. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then the guy's got these like big 37s or something on it like that.
Mhm.
And the dealer replaced the block or the engine the first time. Then he comes back in 15,000 miles later. No.
So the thing is with that is if you go to 37 inches on a 2.7, you might not have enough RPM at certain points on going down the highway. You could
that
definitely ruin that.
That guy was beating the hell out of that truck with that small motor. I was like, no, man, there's no second time. You already were given the grace period the first time, but we ain't doing this stuff again. What are you doing to make this type of stuff happen? If it's within reason that you modify your vehicle, most guys like us that do this are going to be like, oh, okay, we're going to work with you. Did what you do to the vehicle cause the issue with the lights? Well, we're not going to say anything about voiding your warranty, but now you're going to be out of pocket to fix this. Your warranty's still going to be there, but fix what you know you need to make right.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I'm going
put
to tell you right
37
now, all you 152 listening, you guys know you did something to your truck. Dude, what is it to me? I don't care you did this to your truck. Just keep it real.
Yeah, don't lie about it.
Don't lie about it. Or don't let Ford Boss and I, start unraveling something. You're just making our job harder, which if it becomes harder because of you, I'm going to have to charge you for it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a learning experience because you should have just been upfront and we could have maybe circumvented a solution that would have pleased all parties. You know what I mean?
37s can be a bad thing for a truck, a 6.7 or a 2.7, whatever, but it depends a lot on gear ratio. If you go that big and you don't have like a 430 or at least a 3.73, a lot of these diesels, you guys got to drink. A lot of these diesels come with a 3.31 rear gear. So if you put 37s on it, now your overdrive is going to be in the wrong spot when you get on the freeway, and you could absolutely cause some harm. So it's something to think about. You tow something and it can't get into the right gear, it's be an issue for the trans or the engine.
Yeah.
I came here before to get my Powerstroke done. Hey Rod, not yet. Just got forescan. Is there another way to do a manual regen, well, you either can get this Think Diag dongle, which I just made a video on. You can check on Ford Boss and see how it works, but you can do a manual regen with your phone, or like we were just talking, getting Forescan. You know, that's if you want to get some Forescan stuff, visit my channel. You'll see my email. We can set up some time and reprogram you remotely, get you dialed in, get your truck personalized to you, get you programmed, whatever you need.
Yeah, that thing Diag is pretty neat, man. Wow,
Really?
that thing's neat. That thing is just.
Rich, when I clicked on power balance, I was,
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe this. It was,
Yeah.
man, because I remember back, see what year would that have been? Okay, so that would have been, let's say 04, 05. They came out with this thing called PDS.
Yeah.
And it was a Palm Pilot, and you could do power balance and relative compression and do PATS programming and whatnot. And it's like, and then that just kind of phased out and went away. So now here we are with these smartphones, and now we plug this dongle in, and I was going through anybody who's got a 6.7 or a Ford needs to have Forescan, because you need a PC based, so you can change shit. But if you're on the fly and you got to do some stuff, if you can do a manual regen from your cell phone, dudes,
I mean, you can do it with your cell phone on Forescan too. So.
Right. You got to check it out. It's way cool.
I'm talking. What floored me the first time I ever had to talk to Aaron about this was, I was like, Aaron, dude, these guys just sent me this thing, and I got it all situated and downloaded and everything. And we have shop minimums, regardless if it takes 5 minutes or if it takes 20 minutes, or it's 2 minutes. Most shops have a shop minimum. Like, okay, I got to charge you at least a half hour to get the vehicle in, to look at it, whatever. Well, this is for sales. And to be honest with you, sometimes I have a bad taste in my mouth with sales. Sometimes it's like two different entities. So anytime I could charge them something, I'm charging them. And they pulled in a vehicle and they were like, hey, can you pull a door code? Are you paying for it, or is the customer paying for it? Well, we're paying for it. I was like, should I pull out this dongle right now and see if it actually works? I went up to the vehicle, plugged it in, I hit auto scan. I literally walked to my box. It already identified the vehicle. I'm standing there in my box looking at my next ticket. I went to like the PAT system, pull door code, and within 2 minutes later, I had a door code up on my phone. I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
That is awesome, dude.
I just had a half hour in literally 2.5, 3 minutes. And it would take me 10 minutes to get the computer out, get it hooked up, go into the PAT system, all from my cell phone. I was like, Aaron, you got to look at this thing, man. You have to look. It was ridiculous.
Man, they came through, sent me one. Way cool. Spare tire. Thank you, my man. I know those are not that good. I have one, brand new. I say you got your money's worth if you got 184 out of it. I have a 2020 and purchased a 3-year license for Forescan. What app do I need? You are not talking about the Ford Pass, correct? No. Cody is talking about the Forescan app Lite for your phone, which is what he's got. You just went to your phone store, right?
Yep.
And you download that, and you'll have a light version of Forescan on your phone.
It won't.
That
Sorry.
no.
Yeah.
Oh, that you can pull, look at PIDs and data, pull codes, and
Is there a dongle?
You use the same dongle that the same Wi-Fi dongle thing, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or just.
Oh, you got that? Yeah. See, I didn't buy that one.
Yep.
Is that the Switch one?
Yep.
I hate that one.
It works fine for me. I haven't had a problem with it. I've got 5 of them.
I don't want. I want to try that. What is that other one called, Cody? The MX Plus or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's what I recommend to anyone that just asks, because This is like trying to find one that works.
Yeah.
But I really,
Fernando. No,
I
you're good,
really
go ahead.
want to get in VCM 3 or VCMM.
Dude, we had one in the freaking parts room, still in the freaking box, and nobody knew it was there. And one of the VCM2s went down, and our main engine tech, he was like the gasoline tech. He's been there for like 35 years. He loves doing gas engines. That's his thing. And he was like, dude, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he's walking around, and one of the new guys was like, did you see that like box or bag that had that big giant VCM looking thing in the parts room? And he was like, what are you talking about? I went in there and pulled out that VCM with that whole entire kit. And I was like, are you kidding me? That's like a $4,000 kit. And nobody knew it was in here.
Just sitting
That
in
thing-
there.
That
Come
thing,
on.
like, it connects like that. There's nowhere near the problems that we have with the VCM2 with that VCMM. It's so fast and it's clean, and you have the wireless option and everything else. I think it's
Wow.
nice.
I have not had to use that yet.
I love it.
Just the VCMM.
But it's like a
You-
huge brick though, but it does so much. You can do all your like diag and reading. If you don't have fuel pressure that's available on like a vehicle that you can port into it with some of the kits, I don't know if it comes with all of them, you can disconnect the fuel line, plug in the adapter, plug the line back in, and it reads live fuel pressure right from the line.
Where in the app can you regen?
It's either in
Tom-
test or service on the app. I was
Tom
just
Job. Yep. Engine light have said something about harness. Thanks, guys. Code. All right. Well, he's given us what we need. So he's got an 18 what? 18 F250. 18 F250. And he's got, what code does that say? B what?
14D8.
14D8. Let's see where that takes us. Body control module, interior lighting. 14D8. Bed lamp output short to ground. Well, buddy, there's a pinpoint test that you got to go to, or go through rather. You got 5, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14, 16. Dang. You got 26 pinpoint test steps. You either got a wiring problem or a body control module problem. So it's kind of a long thing to go through. You'd need a
Where's the bed light? Does that mean like one of the cargo lights in the back of the bed by the tailgate?
yeah, I think so.
So it's going to be a power and ground thing. Do both of the lights work? I mean, are we chasing a ghost here? Do you get both lights on? Does one light not work? Do they both not work?
If he's listening, he'll say.
And that should be a pretty simple circuit for you to track down overall. I mean, I've made my mistakes. Trust me, recently.
I absolutely beat on my 2016 Ford F350 Lariat 6.7 Powerstroke like a rented mule. That's what I want to hear. But hey, I want you to take care of it though.
Yeah.
Feed it some food. Give it some water. Make sure it's got a nice place to sleep at night. And then just beat the snot out of it the next day.
Like it's one of your top-notch hoes and you're the pimp.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
2019 F250 6.7 throwing a P132B check engine light code was losing boost off and on since last fall until we went on a vacation. That is something that will throw you into D-rate. Specific at 2019, if you go to 2019 on my channel and actually look That was the first 2019 turbo video I did, and it was for a P259F code, which is kind of similar to a 13.2B. Both of those codes are indicative sides of turbocharger. There is a recalibration reprogram available. I've had them fix it, and I've had it not fix it. So I've always, if the truck's not under warranty, I've given the customer an option, do the TSB first, reprogram, and then know that if it comes back on or you lack power, then, unfortunately, we're going to probably have to, hang a turbo on it. 17 through 19, I would say same codes. Oh, that's interesting. That's a bummer. Oh, you guys got some interesting, Mr. Potato Head.
Sounds like a trans to me,
I would say.
or a torque converter.
Cody Phillips, I want your shop to do the work. How do I get a hold of you?
I don't have the stuff to do a 3-liter timing belt.
Ooh.
That's expensive.
Ooh, peace out, Project Amateur. Mike Hurd, welcome to Powerstroke Level 1. What's up, buddy? Welcome to the Powerstroke fam. We like getting newcomers and checking out what we have to offer here every week for everybody. Blew the cold side pipe off. It almost made me poop my pants. That's funny. What do you guys think about the S&S Disaster Prevention Kit Gen 2? Buy it. Have 190 on the 1567 that I daily, and I'm a little afraid of that CP4. Check out AccurateDiesel.com. They're in my home state. They're over here in Grand Rapids on this side of the state. As for a guy named Tim, he has the kits and he has the replacement filters. He's got them both. So if you're going to get the kit, pick up another couple extra filters so you can have them on deck so that when you go to replace your fuel filters, you will have a replacement S&S filter available. They're great. Fred, we're talking about Think Diag. Go to Ford. I don't have my video up yet, and I don't have it. It's in my truck. Go to Ford Boss's channel and type in Think Diag. His little video, not a little short, but his video will pop up. He's got a little tutorial of it hooked up to the vehicle, and you'll see what we're talking about. It's pretty nifty. You can check it out on Amazon. I think he might have a link for you in his description. You can check it.
I mean, you could go see Aaron Matt for that 3-liter timing belt.
I don't know if Aaron wants to do that.
I mean,
thing.
Ford Boss Me is probably closer to you than me.
I'll do it.
I mean, any Ford dealer should be able to take care of it. I mean, I just don't have the tools to do it myself. So, sorry.
So that's another, that could be a topic too that we could actually talk about. It might bring some bad, I don't know, it might bring some emotions out of some people, but lately I've had a lot of messages, and I mean a lot. And I could share with you guys privately off of here so we didn't, blow this up too much, where people are saying, literally, I'm going to the dealer and they're telling me my vehicle's out of warranty. I need phasers done or something like that, or like this timing belt done. And they're telling me it's going to be $4,000. It's going to be $5,000. And I'm like, what? Where are you getting these numbers from? Why are you telling me this right now? Because this makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like at most a 14 to 15 hour job if you're going to charge full rate for it, and you might spend $400 or $500, $600 in parts. But how are we coming up with this $4,000, $5,000 number, and then dealers turning people away, and they're having to go hours away to find a reputable dealer to actually do the work?
I mean, from what I see, STST shows a timing belt for the F-150 at 4.2 hours, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
4.2 hours warranty time. So 30% of that is approximately 6 hours.
Right.
So it's only like it's at 100 and some. I would say what, $150 an hour.
Yeah, just say 150 is a good number.
6 times 150. Just labor alone is gonna be $900.
Yeah, I mean, people are coming back with something like that, like you just put out, Cody. Let's just say safely it was $1,400 or something with oil change and all this other blah blah blah. If you want to spiff up, change something while you're in there, but people are coming back and telling me numbers like, for instance, like that they're getting charged double the rate or sometimes 2.5 times the rate, and I'm like,
Why?
why is this all of a sudden a problem? Why am I getting this resonance from people going to other dealers that are telling me this type of stuff? I've never heard of this before, but then over the last few months, it has got absolutely outrageous with the numbers that people are throwing at me.
Before I forget,
Oh,
I need you guys in the comment section because I don't know. Gary Jenkins, everybody, welcome to the family. We got 3 new members here, level 1. Appreciate you guys coming through. Right now, I'm looking for an Illuma Duty. None of these guys. I'm gonna have DS pick somebody in the comments. I don't know. Are you able to read the comments, DS, or no?
You give me a second. I gotta pull it up.
Okay, DS is gonna pull up the comments. He doesn't know what I'm giving away.
nobody
So
does.
Nope, he's going to be unbiased. So I'm looking for somebody who has an Illuma Duty with the mirror spotlights on their truck.
I'm gonna go buy one just so I can go to the comments and try to.
Check them out. I have a harness with your name on it. This mod is will allow you guys to turn on those lights.
All right,
any
are you guys
speed.
ready for me to pick somebody? I'm gonna make it random.
Well,
I
they
need
gotta
to-
make sure they got the right Illuma Duty
Yeah,
first.
I need to find out
Okay.
who we got. They got. Tell me if you got a Luma Duty. Luma Duty with the mirror spots. I'm gonna let those. I'm gonna let all that stuff populate.
What are they
you
gonna
guys.
What are they gonna say? They're gonna first of all say they have a Lumen Duty. What else?
Yeah. See, so they're starting to come.
Here you go,
Okay.
Aaron. Here's the other one.
There he is. Look at that old buddy. Look at him.
The other one was a lab, and this one's like the husky mix.
Look at him.
She's like a kid that never wants you to leave.
Look at him. Good mod. Easy. This is
And what does it
courtesy of
do?
Limitless. This
What does it do?
allows you to turn your mirror spotlights on
Oh, okay.
anytime.
All
Anytime.
right. I'm flicking through now. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
This is unbiased. It's scrolling. Matter of fact, look, we can see. Can you guys see that?
He's scrolling.
I'm not looking at it.
Who's he gonna pick?
Brian Baldridge.
Ooh.
Platinum buttons. My platinum has buttons to turn them on. Do you want it, man?
Where is he?
DS coming through with a new name.
What's my name on there?
What's his name?
I'm actually using my phone today and it's asking what name do you want? So
Okay, so who did you pick?
Brian
Brian what?
Baldridge.
Baldridge.
Oh,
He's got a platinum.
yep. My platinum
My
has
platinum
buttons to
has
turn them on.
buttons, turn them on.
All right, buddy. Brian, let me tell him.
Make sure you get Aaron's contact information.
Yeah, make sure to email me here. Let me put it in here. And we'll make sure to connect and get you settled up. Heck yeah. There he is. Okay. Yep. he heard us. He heard us. Yep. Cool. 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 Yep. So email me. I'll get you. I'll get you. I'll get your information. Awesome. Get you hooked up. Additives. Talked about pinpoint tests.
How far out are you guys, Aaron? Like if somebody brings a Super Duty to you, can you pretty much get to it within a couple days?
Preliminary, yeah, absolutely. Depending on what it is, maybe we could get it fixed. Order
And
part.
you guys aren't a small place. You guys are a pretty big facility. And what I'm finding is a lot of people are saying like further out west where it's nicer, like Phoenix and stuff like that. A lot of these guys are saying that the dealers are telling them they're 3, 4, 5 weeks out before they can even look at their vehicle.
Wow.
I don't have
That's-
anything like that.
That's what I've been hearing as well. They've been out. They're out big time.
But
Hell,
back
I'm
to
lucky
what
if
you were saying, Ford boss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you could be looking at paying $4,500 for what you said, phasers, like timing chain phasers.
It's this one guy came back to me last night. He said, man, I've been back to the dealer twice. Finally, the technician let the vehicle sit overnight. He started it in the morning. He did hear the phaser rattle on startup. And then when I got my quote by mid-afternoon, they were telling me it's $4,000. I was like, how?
You
That's
can
not
buy
a
an engine for $4,000.
That's what I told him. You're better off just buying an engine, man. That's $4,000. That's it. The warranty paid like, what was it, Cody, 10 hours or 11 hours to do that job, to strip it down, clean it, put the phasers and stuff in.
Something around that, yeah.
Customer pay would have only been a few more hours. How are you coming up with $4,000 for a phaser job? It's
You know
just
that I see what you're talking about. That is crazy. I mean, how do you digest that, you know?
well, we're out here trying to change the statistic on what people are thinking of dealerships,
know.
and we're doing a damn good job doing it because more and more and more people are coming back all the time saying, thank you for guys like you that do what you guys do, because it shows us a face and in a relationship that we can actually trust instead of listening to everybody else. But then you have other dealers out here doing stuff like this. And it's like, how can you continue to redirect this trend of people not wanting to trust professional facilities when they're experiencing stuff like this out here? And we're the ones trying to do the right thing, put out the honest work, fix people's vehicles, build the relationships with them. And there's other people out there tearing it down.
So let me ask you this: in this situation, can you say, okay, it's $4,000, but how many hours are you quoting?
Yeah.
Can you ask for like any kind of reasoning behind this price? Can you ask for the hours?
So I don't try to get into their personal stuff on why the dealer. So this is what I do to stay to stay out of it. I'll say, look, here's what the labor time is to do this job. Here's about what the cost estimate is at the customer's level. And this is what the standard is to repair this job based on labor and parts. Now, this is what I'm coming off of. And you're looking at, let's just say, $2,200, $2,300. Now, I don't know where they're coming up with 4,000, but it doesn't seem correct. And now the ball's in your court. You do the research from here. You ask the appropriate questions, have them break everything down for you, because what you're being told doesn't match up professionally to what I know.
Yeah.
The
And
biggest
then
thing I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then I just leave it in their courts because I don't want to be pitted against another dealer. I wouldn't want to have beef with Aaron's dealership or whatever because I didn't agree with something they did. I don't even want to know who the dealership is, but I want to give them the tools to be able to turn around and combat that.
The one thing that's real big to me, if we have a board at work with all the each of us have a column, and then we have all of the jobs, those dispersed jobs, as they determine. But if I'm working on something, I try to prioritize accordingly. If I got something in my stall, depending on what time of day it is, if it's not going to get done, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to try to be productive as I can. If I got a couple of jobs where I can at least get a preliminary diag or inspection, or at least walk out to it, verify the concern, put IDS on it, find out what the code is, start thinking about it. The biggest thing for us right now is getting parts So if we
Yeah.
can get that first contact, that first checkout, so the next time the customer calls, you know what? We've already got this on order, or we already have that next step. No, the truck's still sitting outside. The tech's got the keys. He hasn't went out to it. Oh, the truck's sitting in the shop, but we haven't tore it apart yet. Like, you got to have something to tell the customer. So yeah, the truck may be outside, but you know, we already went out to it. We've got the codes. We figured out what we need. There's actually a TSB. We've got the parts on order. Yours is next in line. You know, just trying to. Okay, you got that done. You know, what can you do again? What can you do when you're doing nothing? If you got, you know, idling, doing, you know, Jack Diddley, you know, Rich, you know what I'm talking about. We're just idling. Like, well, shoot, I got this. I know I got this outside. Parts delivery is going to be here in an hour. I could do that part. Well, let me pull this. You know, it's like you try to flip flop, try to keep that flow going, and you know.
Yeah, that was what I had yesterday. Was literally the same situation. I knew that I had until the end of the day to get an Explorer done. I had like 4 or 5 different items on it. That customer wasn't in a hurry. They were in a loaner. I had another one come in that needed a check engine light diagnosis. I had a vehicle where the parts just came in, and then another one they wanted me to look at. And I had time on the 2 vehicles I had parts for. So I was like, look, I'm going to get those done. Let me pull the 2 check engine light ones. Let me verify the concern, verify the check engine light and stuff. Get a customer, give the customer the idea on what we're looking at or what I've seen in this time. If they can give me more time and it's something hard, then I'll ask for more time. If not, I've already got an idea. Hey, it looks like you got a lazy upstream O2 sensor. I noticed that I pulled one of your plugs and the porcelain's cracked and stuff on it. So why don't we go ahead and throw a tune-up in this while we're here? Go ahead and change the upstream O2 sensor because that's what the code's directly related to. I'll get parts coming and stuff like that. Get onto the next vehicle done. Get back into my vehicles. I know I have parts. I don't see why it's so difficult for people to at least get that preliminary that you're talking about. Like, let's just check it out real quick. Let's give them an idea on what they're looking at, whether or not they should be driving the vehicle. If it's something that could cause further failure, put the vehicle back outside in the meantime and go back to the work you have. At least you're giving them peace of mind that you're actually interested in working with them and trying to help them.
But guys, don't bullshit me. You know damn well we get these trucks in, you get a code, you've had it before, you know what you need. Pull the code. How long is it going to take you to walk out there, bring the computer, bring your Think Diag, bring your forescan, pull the freaking code, verify that's what it is, order your part, boom. Next step, you're on it. Order your parts. You're the thing that you can't control is parts. So get that out of your court. Give it to make it parts problem, and hopefully they can either find it or.
Good luck.
Yeah, it's been difficult. It's been difficult.
That's all I have to say is good luck. I mean, when air filters aren't backorder, we got a serious problem.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know about that. Last time I went to the dealer, they wanted to replace the spark plugs in my Powerstroke. Wow. I hope you drove in and drove right back out.
Right out.
Because that's no good. Are stock trucks blowing cold side intercooler piping? Any of you guys out there blowing the stock charge air cooler pipes?
Yes.
Everyone.
I see a lot of them. Especially the 11 through 16s, but I'm starting to see a lot of the Illumi-Duty ones. I don't know what's going on.
Same comment that Aaron made earlier is what I get all the time. Damn, man, I was going down the road. I went to make a turn. I was getting up to speed, and all of a sudden, boom, or whatever. I was going to get on the highway, and it felt like an explosion under my hood. I popped the hood, and I looked down there. I'm like, yeah, you got a problem.
I almost pooped my pants.
Some people say just the clamp or whatever pops off on it or whatever, but I've seen the hose actually separate. That elbow or whatever, that like that last section before it actually clamps on before the hose, I've seen it come apart.
I used to work at a Toyota dealership where we had a bunch of people come back to us. We definitely tried like hell to change that narrative as well. I hate the other dealers. It's a big thing, man. It's like you against us. Like, when you guys bring your trucks in, it's, I always hear, like what's some of the excuse we hear for boss, like, no, I took it into the dealer and they said that the air freshener hanging from my mirror is what caused my rear defrost to short out.
Yeah.
Well, the rear defrost is in the rear and the rear view mirror is in the front of the vehicle, right? Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to have that cloud over you, but like we're saying, it's we're weeding through it.
Yeah.
Oh man, DS, you better get some sleep. We got 5 to 8 inches coming tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it helps me to stay up late because it's going to be a late night. So I'll be ready for it.
Hopefully dealers will start using that Swiss headset more so we can help fix trucks.
Oh, Cody, we got
Quicker.
it in. We got it in.
Yeah.
I went in the manager's office and I seen this box sitting back there and I was like, oh, that's a Cody right there. And he was like, what?
A what?
Like, well, we were just talking about that, and he said, "Do you know what this thing does and everything?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I know what it does."
Yeah.
And I said, "Let me guess, you didn't have an option." And he said, "Nope, we were told we were buying it, and I had to buy it."
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like the idea of that thing. It's like on your head and your face. Like, man, they're gonna take one eye and give you man, forget all that.
Well, no, when I was looking at it,
You look
it's not,
through it. You don't look at it. You look through it. It's not.
It's sitting over here. It doesn't even impede your vision or anything at all. It's sitting right next to your face, so it's not in front of your face at all.
I am a cyborg.
Yeah, it looked bulky too. Like, man.
Well, once you actually see it and you put your hands on it, DS, it's really nice. It's not that bad at all. Yeah, it's not that bad at all. I thought you were right when I was like, he's got to be right. But then when I actually seen it in the box and I looked at it and I was like, wait, that is not even that bad, man. It looks bigger than what it actually is.
Told you. I mean, I've used it before. It's awesome.
But Cody, how do you like once? So if I get on hotline and I open a case up for something like this, like really problematic, and I need help, and they recommend they say go to that, how do I make sure that I'm hooked? Is it like, can it go to each separate computer? You just have to click connect?
So how it works is you'll scan that QR code that's in the box with it.
Yeah.
After you're hooked up to Wi-Fi, and whoever's helping you at hotline, they will call you because your little name will come up in the queue, and you will get a phone call from them on the headset.
No way. Really? That's crazy.
So whoever's working with you will call you.
Yes, this is Mark.
So you literally just have to have it hooked up to the Wi-Fi in the dealership.
Hooked up to the Wi-Fi, then you scan the QR code through that TeamViewer app that comes up, and then they'll call you as soon as they see that you're connected to the server.
And the TeamViewer app will be through your cell phone?
No, it's
Peggy.
It's through the actual tool.
Oh, nice.
You can set it up through your cell phone though.
Okay.
Your FSC should be getting you hooked up or set up. That's his job. That's literally his job.
All right, fellas. It's been real. I appreciate you all for joining us. The giveaway guy, Mr. I got you in the email. We're going to get that out to you. Thanks for talking additives. Stay tuned for a great video on Friday. Let me see if I can give you a little tidbit because I've already forgotten. What's the date today?
Yeah,
today is the 16th. Yeah, it's the 16th.
16th. We got a big deaf problem.
Huge.
I want you guys here on Friday. We're talking DEF, the importance and what's going on. We'll see you guys Friday. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the week, everybody.